Sunrider is a huge manufacturer of herbal foods, beverages, anti-aging products, and a lot more. They take making food-type products very seriously. We have 2 million square feet of state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities producing foods into 50 countries, and we're just scratching the surface. When I started eating Sunrider 30 years ago, or actually over 30 years ago, I knew I liked the products right away. But about a year later, I attended a meeting where I met several non-sales type, down-to-earth people who had full-time careers, and they were making great incomes in their spare time with Sunrider. At that moment, I realized, oh my gosh, the business is as good as the product. I decided I better research network distribution because it was clear that I didn't understand it. And what I found was network distribution was created to solve a problem, to do a better job of explaining above average quality, unique products that may not get explained properly sitting on a shelf. The most interesting thing to me is once I understood the business, it was just what I was looking for. Like I never would have dreamt that I would be promoting health products. But the idea of building something, building it once, building it well, and having it pay income forever like royalties was exactly what I was looking for. Usually people say they have no time to add anything new into their life. Well, I didn't have time not to. I had a full-time job, I had 2 young children, I was running a business already, and I wanted a life. So I created a system to make my time as effective as possible and started talking to people and building a business. My goal was to make $4,000 a month, and 30 years ago that was pretty good. And I achieved that in a little over a year, which I surprised myself how fast it actually came together. But during that time I fell in love with the business and everything it stood for, so I continued on and I built it much larger than I originally planned. And I've been semi-retired for over 15 years with a fabulous residual income that comes in every month. Now I say this not to brag, but just to impress upon you that this business does work. Most people are in the hamster cage, going every day, not having any fun, to just get by, while their lifestyle is being eroded by inflation. It's like people are going backwards constantly. And the few people that do have money, if they're not retired, they have no free time either, and most of them have had to sacrifice health and relationships in order to get their wealth. To have an income that comes in every month, like a residual income, is just so valuable. The interesting thing though is most people have never even considered the idea. A few years ago I was researching a project where I sat in on several meetings where small business coaches asked business owners why they went into business. It was really interesting. The answers were usually, I wanted freedom, I wanted to be my own boss, I wanted to have more free time, I wanted to earn more income, and I wanted to get away from the exhausting procedures and politics of the workplace. And then the business coaches would ask, so how'd that turn out for you? In almost every case, they said, I have more stress, I have less time, I make less income, I carry significant debt, and I'm not having any fun because I'm so busy doing inventory and payroll, babysitting employees, that I don't have time to do the things that I wanted to do. So just to be in business is not necessarily the answer. Most of us want to do something that's honest, moral, and ethical. We want to do something that will produce enough income that it'll give us a good life, something that stimulates us, something that gives us time freedom, something that we can help people and make a difference, something that gives us a good retirement, and something that we can pass to our children. It's just that when this opportunity shows up, like in my case, it was something totally different than what I ever had planned. Billions of dollars of business is happening all around us every year. It's like there's big pipelines that move product that we don't even realize. So when you think of a big pipeline, on this end you've got manufacturers, you've got farmers who are making product, they've got large investment, they've got risk, they've got headaches, and they're married to it. They have to constantly be looking after this thing. And at this end, we've got retail stores, and they've got investment, and they've got risk, and they've got headaches, they've got employees, and they're married to it. They're having to go to it every day. And there's all this products, and there's middlemen in the pipeline that are always managing things and solving problems. So in a case like Sunrider, it allows us to get involved in a pipeline. So this would be you. And so the ideal scenario is you find a company that makes highly sought after products, and they have the ability to keep creating those highly sought after cutting edge products. So when you find a company like that, you know it's going to be a long-term profitable relationship. So you put yourself in the pipeline and then you build your own pipeline from there. So products wind up going straight through and you just get a little piece of the action every time people are purchasing. And you can purchase, or you can develop that business in your own area, all across the country, all across the continent, all across the world. Network distribution is probably one of the most misunderstood business models out there today. People think it's home parties and selling a few products to their friends, but it's big business. We're doing something that big companies can't do, and that's get people to listen. Big companies, they can't get people to listen to advertising anymore. People don't have time for it, and they don't want to listen to it. They don't believe it. All of us have people in our lives that maybe tell us things and we go, oh, we listen because we know them, we like them, we trust them. But if we've seen the same advertising on an ad somewhere or on a commercial, we wouldn't even pay attention to it. That's why they call this business the great equalizer, because for people that have got, they're kind, they're caring, they're intelligent, they're outgoing, they can do extremely well in a business like this. So what we say to people is if you're like that and you put 5 years into this business, you would develop skills that were highly sought after, plus you'd establish a great business. Most people spend more time researching a new refrigerator than they do a business opportunity. It's a common misunderstanding that it's the marketing plan that makes the business, but the products are the catalyst to the marketing program. Zero volume gives you zero check. If you want to get your business past the enthusiasm stage and build something that's going to last, there's definitely product criteria. The product needs to be highly consumable and purchased monthly. It needs to give people an emotional response where they say, I'll never be without that product. It needs to be the first thing you think of when you get out of bed in the morning. It needs to save people time and simplify their life. The whole family needs to be able to use it. And you need to be able to take it with you, whether you're at work, whether you're out in public, or whether you're at home. You need to be able to use it at mealtime, at the gym, driving in your car. And it's what you serve to people when they come over to visit. And every time your product doesn't fit into one of these categories, you're actually losing market share and making it more difficult for your business people and yourself to solve the needs of someone else. Sunrider is a manufacturer of very high quality herbal foods and food type products for people who want to look and feel their best. We have foods not only like Cali and Fortune Delight, which I mentioned, but foods like Quinary that nourishes your 5 systems of your body, which strengthens it. We've got foods that nourish your nervous system like Toppies and Joy. And we've got a very concentrated fruit juice, Vitafruit, and a product Evergreen, which is very rich in chlorophyll, very concentrated green food product. And a full fitness program, including DVDs, created by the oldest son, Ruben Chan, who specializes in sports injuries. We've got foods for men and women over 40, and a skincare program, personal care, very nutritionally dense products, VitaShake and NuPlus, Sun Bars, foods for the whole family, and that everybody loves to use, and it makes it so easy to build your business. After I built my Sunrider business, I had all this free time in my hands. So there was a lot of things I wanted to do. One of the things I've always wanted to do, at least I thought I wanted to do, was be a financial advisor. The company I was with, their statistics said that for a new advisor to be successful, you had to go out and meet 25 new people every week for 5 years to build a solid, profitable business. Well, I didn't stay all that long, but I learned a lot. There isn't many things you can't do after you've knocked on 800 doors. Another thing I thought would be fun was real estate sales, and that was worse. And there's no residual income in real estate sales. But I kept thinking, gosh, the things people do for independence and freedom, and if I was to put the same amount of effort into my Sunrider business as I did those other ventures, I just thought, wow, think of how big it would be. And it was already big just from, part-time work. The fact is, most careers are grinds, and they rarely provide the lifestyle that network distribution does. But when people get involved in this industry, because the investment is so low to get started, they don't treat the business serious, and then they go at it haphazardly and then give up if they don't make money right away. Well, when I looked at this business, I realized if I was going to build something substantial that was going to create residual income for the rest of my life, that it was going to take hard work, it was going to take discipline, sacrifice, and I was going to have to learn new things and develop new skills. When you go into this business, you go into it with the mindset that I own my own marketing business and I'm affiliated with Sunrider. I'm affiliated with Sunrider because of 2 million square feet of manufacturing facilities, totally unique products, customer loyalty, longevity. So they make the products, they ship the products, they look after customer service, they send the checks to us, but we go build the distribution side of the business. They don't. They leave that up to us. So it's perfect. Most of the time when people start in this business, they want to go and tell everybody about the product, hoping that some of those people will tell other people about the product and they'll expand their business. But consumers are what I call undercover agents. Most of the time they don't really do anything other than consume. Like only the UPS driver knows that they're consuming. So if we did that, we'd have, let's say, 30 consumers, and that could easily generate an income of, maybe $1,000 a month, maybe even $2,000 a month. You may get some big consumers, and some of them may share with a few people, and you might wind up with a little business there, but you're not really going to expand that business unless you add more consumers to it. So with the business approach, we're talking to people, as I mentioned, let's go build a business together, let's have some fun together, let's do something special, let's travel the world, let's stay home and raise our children. These are the things when we're talking to business people that why they'd want to build a business with us. So when we talk to people, we're looking for motivated people. Now, in the process of finding business builders, you're going to wind up with lots of consumers. And it just seems that you'll never wind up with more than 10 to 20% of the people that you have in your group involved in the business, and you'll wind up with a good solid 80% of just happy consumers. And that's just the process of building the business. So as you're talking to people, you're finding committed people, and they will find committed people as well. So 2 will turn into 4, which will turn into 8, 16, 32, and if you total that up, it'd give you 62 people. So it never really grows like this, for sure, but it's happened to me lots of times where you get multiplication of good leaders. And each one of these people will have personal consumption. There'll be a fair bit of volume here. So now a business like this could easily generate $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Maybe it'll be $3,000 a month, but maybe it'll be $15,000 a month. But a good income can be generated from this. Now the thing that stops most people from talking about the business is they're afraid of a no. And you are more apt to get a no when you talk to people about the business because you're talking about, let's go do something together, let's do this or that. It's a bigger decision for them. And if they say no, it's usually the timing that they're saying no to. They're not usually saying no to you. The leaders in Sunrider are literally pinching themselves because we're so excited. There's as much excitement now as when we started building this business. It's as good as it was, back then. And so that's exciting. Sunrider is still a ground floor opportunity. There's so many areas all across North America where Sunrider is unheard of. And even in bigger areas, if you lined up 10 people in the street and asked them, have you heard of Sunrider? They go, is that a motorcycle gang? Like people just haven't heard of it. Maybe 1 in 10 have heard about it. So we have a ground floor opportunity without the risks and the headaches of a startup venture. So in summary, number 1, network distribution is a really good thing. Number 2, Sunrider is a very stable company with great potential. Number 3, people want what we're offering. They want opportunity, they want stability, and they'd like to be involved in the anti-aging industry. It's an estimated $1 trillion industry, and this gives you a chance to own your own anti-aging business without actually having the hassles of manufacturing and all that stuff. And number 4, you can do this. there's the support, the mentorship to help you build this business. So thanks for watching. I hope I've made you sit up in your chair, and I hope we get to talk more in the future.